Hi, community group leaders and teachers. I hope y'all are doing well and having a wonderful day. Hey, I am excited. I get to introduce to you week 2 of the Who's My Neighbor series, at least the pastor's cut for that. We're going to be talking this week about widows and Acts chapter 9. I love this passage because it's full of so much meat. But before we get there, I want to talk a little bit about the Who's My Neighbor series, because throughout this series, we're looking at 4 different groups of people that are identified throughout the Bible, throughout the New Testament and Old Testament, as people that really can't care for themselves. So we're looking at orphans, at widows, at the poor, and at immigrants, and looking with each group of people what God's heart is for them, how we as individuals, as a church body, can make a difference in investing in these different groups of people that God specifically says we should be investing in. You know, James 1:27 says, "Pure and faultless religion is this, that we care for orphans and widows in their distress." And so really it's interesting that this week we're looking at widows in particular. And so we're looking at Acts chapter 9 about a lady named Tabitha who really devoted her life to serving widows. She made clothes, she made blankets for widows, but then the passage in Acts 9 tells us that she passed away. And this is where the story gets interesting, because typically from this point we'd either talk about the supernatural event that happened with Peter, we'd talk about how simply Tabitha devoted her entire life to investing in others and serving others, but very rarely do we talk about maybe both and, how God supernaturally intervened in the situation, but at the same time, as God's power was manifest, that there were all these people that were devoting themselves to serving and loving each other. And it was the fact that she so deeply loved Jesus and was a follower of Jesus, labeled as a disciple, that out of that she gave of herself and devoted her life to serving and investing in others. And so Christ in her became something that was manifest to a world of people that was far from God. I pray that this week that you have great conversations talking about all of those topics. I certainly hope and pray that through the conversations you land on some solid ground where you can talk about how as a group and how as a church we can invest and wrap our minds and our hearts and our arms around people that are far from God, to invest in them and allow the Christ in us to become manifest for that world of people that is far from God. So I look forward to hearing about these awesome conversations and pray for a great group. Thank you for what you're doing in investing in the lives of people as you develop them into Jesus followers who impact their families, their neighbors, their city, and the world with the gospel. God bless.